What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your sister from another Mr. ThickChickVlogs. Girl, and you're like, bitch, where you been, girl? Let me put on some of my lip chat because, girl, y'all know we gotta go in on these motherfucker, what's the name of this motherfucking show? Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hoes Atlanta. Y'all already know what it is. Bitch, okay. This is gonna be a ratchet ass review, but it's a ratchet ass show, so we're gonna give you a ratchet review for a ratchet ass show, girl. Let's move on swiftly. This is my motherfucking shit right here, girl. This is the EOS lip balm, but this is in like milk honey. It looks like, you know, this is what the packaging looks like on it. Girl, this is one of my favorites. The quenched one used to be my favorite, but girl, this one is my all-time fave, girl. But girl, I've been so fucking busy. I can tell that it's getting hot up north, because y'all know, if y'all don't know what I do, I work from home. I am a call reviewer for a bunch of HVAC companies. I don't answer the phone for them, but I'm kind of the person that listens in to make sure that the call is being handled properly. You kind of understand what I'm saying. Anyway, girl, we're going to move on swiftly and professionally. Okay, all right, moving on. All right, girl. Also, I do want to say, before I get into this review, we will be having a long dig this video talk show video over on my other channel, ThickChick TV. I will leave that link down in the description box down below. But let me tell y'all what we're going to be talking about over there, girl. We're going to be talking about some Kenya Moore. I'm looking at my dry erase board over here. We're going to be talking about some Kenya Moore. We're going to be talking about these women prisoners being sterilized, girl. We're going to be talking about that goddamn George Zimmerman, this racist principle, and a whole lot of other shit that we are going to be talking about, girl. So let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, girl. So it starts out with CBJ being in rehab. Of course, he's not supposed to have visitors, and all of a sudden, you know, Porcelain is coming to visit him, okay? Porcelain is coming to visit him. So somebody's knocking on the door. He was like, who is it? Motherfucker, you already said your wife coming to visit you even though you're not supposed to be having visitors. Girl, boom, I'm so sick of them and this fucking acting shit in the rehab and all this shit. Bitch, please, okay? And she comes in there, I know you don't want to be here, bitch. Remember where you came from, okay? Remember where you came from, okay? So we gonna move on from Stevie J and Josh. So I'm sick of them goddamn folks, even though they do make the show. Let's keep it Trillville, holy feel around this piece, okay? They do make the show, okay? So now we're gonna move on to Kalina, okay? Kalina is, of course, pregnant when it first come on, and then is her husband named Tony? I keep getting it fucked up. I keep getting him mixed up with Tony and Kevin. What is her fucking husband name, girl? Like I said, it's going to be a ratchet ass review, but hey, y'all want it, so I'm going to give it to you, okay? So, of course, like I said, when it came on, she's pregnant, she's having contractions and all this type of shit. Then, you know, they said they moved into this huge house because he wanted some of the families to come and live with them, yada, yada, yada. And basically, they're in this huge house that they really can't afford. So, he decides that he want to do this get-rich-quick scheme with some nigga that he used to run with from back in the day when he was cheating on Kalina. You know what I'm saying? So, he want to do this get-rich-quick scheme and open up some type of club with the money that they can have in savings. Apparently, they have like $70,000 in savings. And he wanted to take it all and invest it into this motherfucking club. And she's crying and stuff. She was like, that's all we got to our name. Like, boo, I don't know if we need to be doing this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? This is all the money we got to our name. He like, look, we got to go all in. So I'm really thinking it's probably going to be some bullshit with that right there. But let's pray for Kalina and them, because when you having a baby, ain't nobody got time for no get-rich-quick schemes, nigga. You got to get off your motherfucking ass and work, okay? Quit with these get-rich-quick schemes. So let's just say a prayer for them, because I mean, I would hate for them to, you know, go into some type of bankruptcy, especially with a new baby coming into this world, okay? So, and then it goes on to Carly meeting up with Rashida. And she claims that, you know, Rashida claimed that she brought Erica to the grand opening of Carly's store, you know, so they can talk. So, of course, Carly tells her, no, I think you brought her there to be low-key messy. You know what I'm saying? Which Carly is a messy-ass bitch her fucking self. Let's keep it real. All them hoes messy. So, Carly tells Rashida, no, I believe you brought her there to be messy. Rashida like, no, I brought her there for y'all, so y'all can talk, okay? So, Carly claims that she got $1 billion business because, of course, you know, Rashida said, I got $1 million business in my house. She was like, I don't have a Carly, because Carly threw a little shade. She said, I don't have a business in my house. Rashida was like, yeah, I got a business in my house, $1 million business in my house. And Carly was like, bitch, I got $1 billion business. Cosmetic line that I've had since I was 15. Girl, have you heard of this cosmetic line that Carly has had since she was 15 years old? Somebody please direct me in that direction, okay? Direct me in that direction. Put some link in the description box of this motherfucker, cosmetic line, because I'm a little confused. I'm gonna have to Google that shit. $1 billion business, really, Carly Red? $1 billion business, girl, for real? You really said $1 billion business, and Rashida said $1 billion, girl. Boom. Anyway, so of course, whatever. We gonna move on after motherfuckers. Okay, all right. So of course, Stevie J is all saved, sanctified, and holy now. So he meets up with Mimi in this empty ass church. Of course, Mona Scott, you know, rented out a church for a couple of hours for them to, you know, shoot a scene out or whatever. So he meets up with Mimi and basically saying that he's turning his life around and all this stuff. Of course, when you get people who get into some serious ass trouble, they start, you know, getting a little bit of God in their life. And ain't nothing wrong with that situation. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a little bit of God in your life. But, you know, we do notice that people start doing that type of stuff when they start getting in trouble and shit like that. But he said he's turning his life around. He wants, you know, Mimi and Jocelyn to get along. So Jocelyn is, I mean, Mimi is, of course, Mimi don't want to have shit to do with Jocelyn, even though she probably will, because she is around Eva a lot. You know, she's married to Stevie J, so it's going to have to be some type of understanding there. You don't have to get along, but it has to be some type of understanding there. And Stevie J is basically telling her that he's going to suggest to Jocelyn to see the counselor because he thinks that she has a serious, like, you know, anger management problem. Because of course, you know, Jocelyn told Mimi, bitch, I didn't hit you. Bitch, are you confused? Are you fucking confused? You really did. Do you forget what happened at the reunion? Girl, we're gonna move on, okay? Moving on. Okay, so Nico meets up with his ex-wife. Of course, she didn't move to Atlanta. Of course, she was talking about, I gotta think about that. Bitch, you knew you was coming to Atlanta when we saw your rack ass on the first episode. I hate when the motherfucker sit there and try to do that old badass acting. So, of course, she didn't move to Atlanta, and he got her an apartment downstairs from his apartment. She was like, I didn't know you was gonna be getting me an apartment in the same building as yours. Bitch, boom. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So of course he's telling her all about this shit. Now he tells her about the book that him and Mimi has, and of course she's all this dramatic ass crying about, I can't believe you lying to me. He was like, girl, I did, you know, I got 25% of her book and all this. She was like, I need you to start telling me the truth. He was like, okay, I'll tell you the truth. She orchestrated the whole thing. So basically he's saying that Mimi orchestrated this whole little shebang bang with the book and all this, with the sex tape and all this shit. So like I said, of course she's being overly fucking dramatic. We're gonna move on from that motherfucking situation, okay? So Cena, which is Young Jock's baby mama, she shows up at KD's office, okay? And Cena shows her the proof that her and Young Jock are still having sexual relations, you know what I'm saying? They're still having some sexual relations. So, of course, she shows her the little, you know, the video or whatever. Katie don't give a fuck because you got motherfuckers, some people who just so fucked up insane in the membrane that they don't give a fuck. So of course Cena smashes her fucking iPad and like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. You lying. You could have orchestrated this shit, bitch. I don't give a fuck. He's still my man. I can't believe you came to my job. I mean, just some old thought ass shit. Then she ended up leaving and all that stuff. Anyway, move on, okay? So Erica and Scrappy are now in the they're meeting up with their lawyers. And Scrappy's basically saying that him and Erica had a verbal agreement that anytime Imani needs anything, he buys it for her. He don't have to pay her the child support. Just anytime Imani needs any money or anything like that, he will, you know, do that for her instead of paying the child support. But apparently Erica said they never had that kind of agreement. And, you know, the lawyers are arguing back and forth. Erica like, okay, you need to tell your lawyer to pump her brakes because you a little hostile. You need to keep it professional. Girl, they just going all kinds of crazy. So, of course, they were like, well, we'll see you in court. And they just going to see what pop off, what the judge say. I guess that's how they going to go on about this situation. And of course, Erica's lawyer tells Scrappy, can you pass the drug test? Scrappy was like, come on, I guarantee you I passed that drug because y'all know how he get. So, they going to see each other in court, okay? So, Katie and Young Jock are back at KD's apartment, okay? And KD decided she want to get a little sexy, come out there with her fucking, you know, pulling the same shit that Cena pulled. You know, she come out there with her motherfucking fishnet shit on, showing all her booty cheeks. And telling him, I want to tie you up tonight. So she ends up tying this nigga with some type of jock strap. What the fuck you doing with a jock strap? Are you, anyway, we not even gonna go there. I was finna say, are you scrapping on Young Jock? But we not gonna go there, okay? But of course, she wanna tie him up with a fucking jock scrap and tell him, oh, Cena showed me the video, yada, yada, yada. And she starts getting the fucking whip thing, talking about, oh, I'm gonna teach you a lesson. And she starts hitting the fucking bed with it, pretending like she, did y'all peep that shit? Go back and watch it. She was hitting the motherfucking bed. She wasn't hitting him, okay? That shit just, I mean, all kinds of fucking ridiculous. And of course, she's sitting there smashing the cherries and shit in it. I mean, the strawberry and shit in his face, chocolate all over his motherfucking face. And then she tells him, okay, well, when you get loose, maybe me and you can talk. So she ends up leaving. And of course, the motherfucking camera crew took him loose when he got done. Even though he was on the after show talking about they didn't take me loose, they actually left. The motherfucking camera crew got that nigga loose. Are y'all for real? I mean, this shit is entertaining, but I'm starting to get to the point where I'm not even interested in watching this shit no more for real. But let's move on from them motherfuckers right there, okay? So Stevie J got criminal charges against him. You know, they indicting him or whatever, and of course he has to go to court to see if he has to do 2 years in prison. Moving on. So Kalina had the baby. It's flashed to Kalina. She actually had the baby. I think the baby was like a week old. And Mimi is there, you know, talking to her, showing her support and all this stuff. And she's telling her about, Kalina's telling Mimi about her husband, how he be leaving and shit, smelling all good and shit. And of course, he's hanging out with the dude that he was cheating on her with before. You know, he's hanging out with the same dude that he used to be all out in the streets with. So of course, she's feeling some type of way. The same nigga that he's supposed to be investing all his money into this club with. I don't like that shit, and I'm pretty sure she don't like that shit. So that's gonna be a whole nother situation. So of course, Carly Red brings her motherfucking ass in there with the thought motherfucker. What's her name? Diamond, whatever. For some reason, I don't like that fucking girl. She's trying too motherfucking hard. I don't like her too tough. I can tell that she's gonna kind of be a little annoying motherfucker. So I already know I'm not gonna like her too tough. So, but we gonna see what type of vibe she gives off later on in this season. But I don't think I like her too tough. So of course Mimi starts to tell her about her management company, because the girl, you know, Kalina, she's like, ooh, a little thick chick with a big booty, because we all know, you know, Kalina is a little, you know, she likes women or whatever. So she getting all moist and shit looking at Diamond. So of course Mimi starts to tell her, you know, about a management company and tell her, you know, maybe we can work together, yada yada yada. Y'all, I'm so over them motherfuckers right there, but we're gonna move on from the motherfucker. But that shit is just annoying as fuck to me, okay? But of course, Mimi gets all extra hype anytime anybody mentions Jocelyn, because Diamond starts telling her that's how she, you know, she knows Jocelyn and all this stuff. And of course, Mimi gets extra hype or whatever whenever she hears that girl name. But yeah, we're gonna pray for her. So Kalina won. She want to get in them draws. So then it flashed to Jocelyn and Stevie meeting with the counselor, and he's suggesting that they quit smoking. That she quit smoking for a year to support Stevie and all this stuff. And she says, you know, and he tells her, if you can't quit smoking for a year, then maybe you need to go into rehab yourself, okay? So of course she says, you know, she wants to support him, but you know, she don't feel like she should have to, you know, do that just to prove a point to them. Of course, she's saying Stevie J is controlling her and all that type of stuff, and she starts crying with her. I hate when you do that to me. Girl, I'm just so sick of these motherfuckers here. Then the last scene right here flashed to Nico's wife. She met up with Jocelyn, and then the shit go off. Apparently, you know, she got some type of scoop about Mimi or whatever. But of course, we already know that they probably got them recorded phone calls, and they probably gonna release them in one of these upcoming episodes to where she was orchestrating the whole thing with, you know, the losing the videotapes. We all know that Mimi did that shit because she wanted to make a little bread. But that's pretty much all that went on this episode. I'm excited about seeing the next episode, even though the motherfucking shit is rad and shit. Okay, I already know that it's going to be a whole bunch of bull and shit in these next upcoming episodes. But girl, look, this is what I want to say right here, you guys. Like I said, that's pretty much all that went on in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. A whole bunch of motherfucking nothing. But head on over to Thick Chick TV. That link will be the very first link down in the description box below. As I said, we will be talking about a whole gang of shit over there. I don't know what yet. I haven't even recorded the video yet. But I already know it's going to be a long-ass video, because y'all know I am long-winded as hell, you guys. So click the link down in the description box for a super duper long Dig This talk show video. I will be recording a little bit later. Also, head on over and add me on my Facebook page. That name is ThickChickVlogs. And all that good jazz right there, you guys. If anything else, any other type of videos you guys want me to do, leave it down in the description box. Leave it down in the comment section below. I will check it, and if it seems like something that is interesting, something that I have a little bit of knowledge on, I will do a video on it. But again, head on over to Thick Chick TV. I will be recording a video here very, very shortly. A long video. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.